And there's not much I could do to make her feel relaxed. This I've seen. Actually, no, it's not true. It's not only one person where she used cancer and sickness in order to force somebody else into something that they wanted. Like the second case is different. The second case is like she left. She was the oldest daughter, and the father was abusive. So she had 3 little brothers, and the mother was not capable of protecting the children. So she acted a bit like the mother for her 3 brothers, but when she was 16, she left. So the brothers felt abandoned. And she desperately wanted them to forgive her, but they were never able to do so, because they kind of totally rejected her. And so she had cancer, and she was a Buddhist, and she understood that the cancer was there because she thought, well, if they see me in what state I am, they will forgive me. So she was dying, and I was there. And I wasn't there when she died, but I was there before. And we phoned the brothers, the Buddhist group phoned the brothers, and we said, please, come and visit her at least, because otherwise she cannot die in peace. She cannot go in peace. They did come, but they were only there physically. It was ice cold. So again, you see, when we hurt somebody and we want them to forgive us, maybe they're not able to. So that's another expectation. When we feel sorry, and because she did feel sorry, she said, I was just not capable of staying there anymore. I was not able to see the suffering that this father was doing. They were sitting in the cellar and plotting, killing him. So she said, it's self-cherishing. I was very selfish. I didn't think about my brothers. I only thought about me, so I left. So this is it. So you can feel remorse and you can feel really bad about it, but you cannot expect others to forgive. So if we hurt somebody and we do a lot of things in order for them to forgive us, we feel they don't want to, it's okay, move on. And think about what you could do for them to be able to forgive you. Because why? Not because of you. This is what we usually want. We want others to forgive us because of us. Because then we think, I feel better. Maybe. You have to learn to forgive yourself for all the mistakes that you made. That's it. So we can want the other to forgive us for their sake, because we know how it feels not to be able to forgive. We know that it poisons our life. Not forgiving is, it's also called, there's so many quotes about forgiving. Not forgiving is like you drink the poison and you hope that the other will die. Or at least get sick. Yeah, isn't it? And then, gosh, if we see that the other person is happy, if somebody harmed us and we can't forgive and we have this grudge against this person, and somebody else comes and says, oh, I met so-and-so. Wow, he looked so happy. He looked so happy. What happens with us when we hear these things? It's so difficult to bear. Even if you call yourself a bodhisattva, we're not bodhisattvas, okay? We aspire to be bodhisattvas. Bodhisattva is somebody, by the way, if you don't know, the purpose of your life is to benefit others. You want others to be happy. This is a bodhisattva. And then that's one part, and the other part is you know that you have become a Buddha in order to be able to do that. Before you're a Buddha, you keep going around hurting them and making mistakes and all that. So there's 2 parts to it, the bodhisattva. You want to attain enlightenment, full awakening. Full awakening means liberating your mind from negative emotions and the wrong view of I here and others, totally separate from my mind out there. A mind that doesn't see us. A mind who sees me and them. A mind that says, I am the center of the universe. Have you noticed the feeling of I'm special? Huh? Yeah. So we need to prove that we are special, and it's really difficult today because so many people are like having proofs that they are special. You know, they can do extraordinary things. Art, music, painting, whatever, healthy body, big tasks, high intelligence. So they have something to show me. I have nothing to show. So what shall I do now? Oh, I could go the other way. I could feel especially bad. So then again I become special. If I have nothing to prove for me that I'm not beautiful, I'm not this, I'm not that, la 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 la. Yeah? So I could go that way. So we need to prove that we are special. Now, spiritual practice, okay, I call it Buddhism. Let me call it Buddhism, because otherwise we get confused. Okay, I do not want to make you Buddhists. That's one thing. Yeah, if you want to become Buddhist, you need at least to study for seriously for 2 years, and then maybe you can say, okay, I want to become a Buddhist. Not before. What I would like to is to give you the Buddhist tools, but you need to know where it comes from. So sometimes I use the term spiritual practices because I know it's pretty much everywhere. When it comes to develop a good heart, I think that's pretty universal in all the religions. Also, religion has become a little bit a bad word now in German. We don't talk about religions anymore, we talk about belief systems. It's too heavy. The word religion has become too heavy. So we talk about belief systems. It's the same thing, but it's like... So actually, no, it's not, because then with a belief system we can also include money, power and fame. Because a belief system should be there to make you happy and to decrease suffering. Otherwise, why would you have a belief system? So that can also be a belief system. If I'm rich, if I'm famous, if I'm beautiful, if I'm healthy, if I have a lot of friends, then I will be happy. Many people have that belief system. Yeah. So they gather and gather and gather and still no happiness. Yeah. So the Buddhist belief system is, as long as you keep that wrong view, that there is a real, separate, independent, autonomous, permanent, I think I got about all the attributes now. Did I forget one? Huh? Unitary, okay, yeah, I did forget one. As long as there's such an I, me, as long as I believe that one exists.
Can you repeat one?
Yeah. Okay. As separate, meaning separate from the body and the mind. Something more, third entity. Like, I am separate from this cup. Okay, so there's two entities, the cup and me. Okay, I know you look at me. If you go Madhyamika, no, I'm not separate from the cup, but anyway, we're not going there. So separate, like something, a third entity, a body, a mind, and a me. That appears like that, and we believe in it. On top of it, that I, me, appears to be permanent, not changing. This is why somebody who hurts the body, then the me goes, my body, so they hurt me. Are you really your body? When you have a feeling of I, me, do you think you are the body? What? No, okay, if you can't figure out, close your eyes, go inside, ask yourself, am I the body? Is me the body? Don't look at me, I'm not your eye. And now, this has to be quick, instincts, not kind of, just how do you feel? An instinctive feeling, I'm the body. Me is the body. Is it, do you have that? Of course not. Because otherwise, you know, I could harm you and there's no, I could harm the body, it's absolutely no problem. Yeah.
How can you not be a body?
Because the body is the body, not the eye. Otherwise, you know, if a part is missing from the body, you would have a smaller eye.
But it's my body.
That's my
It's
body.
not me, but it's mine.
It's not me, but it's my body. But you are not, the eye is not the body. I'm not the cup, it can be my cup, but it's not. So in order to be mine, it has to be separate. Still we say, I am cold, I am hot, I am hungry. So are you the body or are you not the body? So see, all these, this is to make you confused, by the way, okay? It's not to give you answers. This is to start to question your views, the way we see ourselves. Because now the third one, so permanent. The body is not permanent, but the I is permanent. The one who possesses the body is always the same I, me. So how can that be? That's ridiculous. How can you, your I still be the same I as when you were 4 or 5 years old? How? But he feels like that, and we believe in it. This is why sometimes, so we got hurt when we were very small. So we still feel hurt now. If you say, no, 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 I know that I'm changing, you should be able to let go. I know that I'm not the same person anymore. Forgiveness should come like that. But we're holding on to that wrong you, permanent I, me. The I is still the same. Body changed, yes. Mind changed, yes, of course. But I, me, still the same. You look at the picture, I need to finish because otherwise we get... You look at the picture from kindergarten, you know, the group picture. Somebody says, where are you? And you go, this is me. You never go, this was me. There's a clear indication of this I, me, that is still the same when you were in kindergarten. Again, this is something you have to reflect on. You have to think, because when I say these things now, you say, no, 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 I know I'm different. No, you don't. You don't. And your subtle mind doesn't either. That subconsciousness that holds all this information, I got hurt as a kid, still reacts the same way. Because this feeling of me, I, is permanent, not changing. You see, if it would change, you should feel different from this morning to now. But you don't. Okay? It is, what else do we say? Autonomous. It's the boss of body and mind. My mind. My body. Well, whose body? Whose mind? There we go, I. Because that's how it feels. If you hear this for the first time, you go like, what the heck is she talking about? So you go like, I go, whose mind? Whose body? I. Okay, then you think, if I take away the body, and if I take away the mind, by the way, is being able to perceive objects, having sensations of pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral, having thoughts, being able to think, to figure things out, having impulses, having instincts, and having emotions. Emotions is not such a good word. In Buddhism, we don't use the word emotion because one is very unclear what they are. We talk about mental factors. So we have mental factors that lead to happiness for us and others, and we have mental factors that lead to suffering for us and others. And we have mental factors that are neutral, but still have a function. So this is what one calls mind. And it's a continuous stream that has no real beginning. A real beginning would be, there was nothing, and now there's something. That would mean real beginning. So because everything that exists is dependent on the moment before, this is why one has kind of adopted that theory that the mind is beginningless. This body has a beginning, but has it a real beginning? No, because it comes from sperm and egg, from your parents. So their body also has no real beginning because it came from their parent, and so we can trace it back. You cannot create matter. You can have transformation, but I think it's totally impossible to nothing and then something is there. Okay, so if you take away the body and the mind, so the mind is these things, like being able to perceive, having emotions, mental factors, thoughts and sensations. If you take away these two things, what can you still have? What? Huh? Where? Does it hang somewhere? Energy is matter. Does it hang somewhere? What is the energy dependent on? Or is it bound to something, or is it just flowing freely, or what? What do you think? It's okay to say don't know. That's really good, because to say don't know makes us look further. That's much better than to have a very clear idea about this. And it's, yeah, that's what I just wanted to say. If you feel uncomfortable in the sun, you can also move forward here with your chairs. That's fine. Okay, so then we go nothing. Without body and without mind, a memory? How? This is what I'm saying. You take away the body and you take away the mind. Body is also brain, eh? The brain is not separate from the body. The brain is
something that remind, like karma.
Yeah, okay, that this is something else. But I'm not talking about death here. I'm just talking about situation. You could take away the body, you can take away the mind. Because karma is deposited on the mind. Karmic imprints, they need a subtle mind to be deposited on. Can we come to the conclusion that there can be nothing there? Nothing more than, we're nothing more than a body and a mind who changes moment by moment by moment by moment. This seemingly independent I, third entity I, is just the creation of the mind. Because whenever you say I, it is either the body doing something or the mind doing something. This I cannot do anything separately. Autonomous. Autonomous means independent. But it feels like this. I possess the body. I possess the mind. My body. My mind. Yet you take away the body and you take away the mind. Where is your I? Nowhere. Cannot exist. So it's the other way around. This I is dependent on the body and the mind. Not the body and the mind depending on the I or belonging to the I. So this is something we add. And this factor is called ignorance or wrong view. Yeah? For example, I add cup to this object here. But there's nothing that comes from here that is cup. But to me it looks as if it's a real cup because the mind has decided that this is a cup. But cup is added. So this I, this me, is added by a wrong view. And it's, you know, if it would exist, we could find it, but you start looking for it, you can't find it. Don't worry, we have a conventional I. Okay? So what is the convention of this thing, cup? What is it?
Label.
A label. So that we can communicate with each other. So this I is also just a label, but then wrong views or ignorance adds more to it. Okay? Doesn't matter if you don't understand so well. It might become clear because whenever you hurt, somebody said in the last course, when my feelings hurt, where are you feelings? Where? Where do you feel your feelings? When you say my feelings got hurt, where are these feelings that got hurt?
Your body.
Where?
In the eye.
here, never in my fingers. So that means I don't have feelings in the fingers. You know, when we got my feelings got hurt. Well, which feelings? Feelings mean sensations, pleasant, unpleasant, neutral. So I'm taking apart language here, okay? Because the thing is, with the language, we make the thing solid and then we start to believe in it. So if you say, I got hurt, it's okay. Because the I, this false I, seems to be sitting in here. But when you say, my feelings got hurt, then you can say, which feelings? What? Which sensations? Yeah, okay? So it's independent, separate, autonomous, permanent, and unitary, meaning only one thing. I have one I, me. Sometimes it is there, taking up all the space. I got hurt. Whoa. I forget about body and mind. It's huge. And then, of course, you know, if you feel like this, the target for people to continue to hurt you becomes really big. Yeah. In German, there's an expression, I don't know where it comes from, which is jemandem auf den Schlips treten. Hello? Schlips, you know what a schlips is? A schlips is a tie. So when you hurt somebody's feelings, or you insult somebody, you say you stepped on his tie. So I was always thinking, how can you step on somebody's tie? But so then I thought, you know, the bigger the ego, the longer the tie, so the easier it is to step on it, because if your tie is really long and is dragging behind you, your ego is really big, you may be a really big target. Yeah? If you say, the more special you think you are, because of beauty, because of intelligence, because of skills that you have, or talents, or whatever, the easier it is for people to insult you. The more you think you're totally ordinary, and you don't have any special things, the more difficult, the smaller the target becomes. You see, this is the advantage of suffering. What Shantideva says, it makes you humble. It reduces your pride. Because when you suffer, you have no arrogance. You have some kind of me, but it's not arrogance, it's kind of low self-esteem or whatever. So if you want to go through life without being hurt by many people, you have to start thinking, I am just a tiny, tiny, tiny particle in this universe. Who the heck I think I am? Why do I make myself so, you know, everything is due to me. Everybody should be kind to me. Everybody should serve me. Why? And this should definitely not happen to me. Why not? It happens to so many other people. Why not to me? The first thing when somebody happens is always, why me? How many times do you think spontaneously, why not me? How many times? Never. Can you put that thing down? Thank you. Never, isn't it? So we can start to, do you think it would make a difference?
Only when you very suffer, you start to think, why not me? But you have to come to a crisis point. Okay,
but we don't have to wait until there. We can train. This is what this is all for. I give you slogans, and then, the Buddha gives us slogans, or the masters give us slogans, and we can start to train. Instead of going, why me? Or every time something happens that you didn't expect, you go like, oh no! And this oh no is emotional, and it creates imprints on the mind that weakens your patience. So then you're surprised after all your 10,000s, oh no, that you don't have any patience anymore. But you can't stop it because it's such a habit. I had a filling falling out of my teeth. What did I do the first day? Oh no! And it now, in the middle of a course in Israel, it's like, then I went like, yeah, it's like, these things are impermanent. They do fall out. Or look at the reaction when you put in a battery. You know, now we don't have batteries anymore, we just charge up. But it's funny, with the charging up, we understand when the akku is empty. You call it akku also? What you need to charge your telephone. How do you call the thing that charges? Akku? You call it akku also? No, how do you call it? Battery, okay. It's funny, eh? When we put it in, we need to put it in every day, and then it runs out. We're not surprised. Isn't it? You don't, because you see it also. That's what we should have for the program. You see how it decreases. But if it's a battery that, you know, a physical material battery you put into your clock, the clock stops, you're surprised. Although you know, when you put in the new battery, you know that it will end. Still we are surprised. Isn't it?
1 minute it works and then it doesn't.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's the same thing with the telephone, but you see how it decreases, and because you have to plug it in every day, you see the impermanence. Your mind gets familiar with the battery emptying itself out. The battery that is in the clock, you don't see anything, and it's once a year that you change it or something like that. Yeah. So this unitary I, me, is also an illusion, because sometimes this I feels very happy. Sometimes this I feels very sad. Sometimes this I feels I want to help others. Sometimes this I feels, get lost everybody, I have enough to do with myself, get out of my way. Sometimes it's very intelligent, sometimes very stupid. So one I, which one is it, that real I, that we believe in it so strongly? Which of these eyes? Because they're different. They cannot be unitary. Unitary means one thing. And these are totally opposed to each other, the ones that I just mentioned. So which one is the real I? Which one is you, me? What do you think? Huh? Who said all of them? Oh, it's such a bad trap, isn't it? That I always tell people because... Okay. If there's a spot where my finger, and underneath, let's say, this spot. So this spot for me is here. For you is there. So this spot, what is it? Is it here or is it there? There's only one spot, okay? Is it here or is it there? Huh? Both. Can it be both? Can something that is one thing be two different things? Logically. Not gut feelings. Use your logic. Can it be logically two different things? No. No, exactly. But what can it be?
Neither.
Exactly. It can be neither and still exist. It's neither, and this is what Norit said, it's neither inherently here, like really, it's neither really here, nor really there. There's this very nice joke about these two Buddhists, you know, like, or the Buddhist monk, there's a river, and so he's here, and there's another one who's there, and that one says, how do I get to the other shore? And this one says, you are on the other shore. We don't see the dependency on it. We don't see, you know, when I say my blah, 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 whatever, views, opinions, country, family, it becomes really mine. Then this spot becomes really here. And we hold on to these opinions, that my opinion is right, and every other, and there, no, this spot is not there. This spot is here. But if I have a view of this spot is neither, and it totally depends on from where you look at it, I become much more open. So this I that seems to be one, that one doesn't exist. But you can say we have many I's. But then in Buddhism we would say, because then we get confused, we would say we have no I, but we have mental factors that make us act in a certain way. And then on this bundle of body and mind, we put the label I. That's it. That's all we are. A combination of body and mind, changing moment by moment by moment by moment, who has incredible potential. who has the potential to be free of all negative emotions, who has the potential to react to others, always with compassion and love and wisdom. This is the potential that this incredible mind that we have has, but it is covered. And the main thing that covers this is this wrong view of my mind, or I and others. Now, in order to have I need others. You see, this whole thing, we take ourselves so seriously. This came to me the other day. I thought, like, I am the only person in the whole universe who calls myself I. Everybody else calls me you. And I make such a big fuss about myself. Isn't it? Yes, I'm the only one who calls myself I, and I think I'm so important. It's like, what am I doing? And this can be, you know, you can be shocked by this, or you can be as Ruti react. It can be a great release. I don't have to take myself so seriously. I'm not the center of the universe. Can come as a big shock. I'm not the center of the universe. Yeah. Okay. So so this is the main point here. It's like, because of this I, me, then we have attachment, or desire, attachment, and aversion. So whatever benefits this I, me, and we don't even see whether it benefits the body or the mind. It's me, I, makes me feel good, you know. Somebody praises you for something you know exactly you're not able to do it, but still, oh, wow, what a nice person. Maybe I do have these qualities. Let me look a bit closer. If she sees it, maybe I have them too, you know? Like this. And when somebody says, hey, come on, you make mistakes all the time. Why can't you pull yourself together? And then it's like, what? I'm so bad. I'm not like this, you know, all these kind of things. So whatever benefits me, whoever benefits me, becomes my friend. Whoever doesn't benefit me becomes my enemy. Whoever that makes me feel bad about myself, low about myself, becomes my enemy. Whereas it's these people that make us grow. Do you want to grow? Do you want to transform, by the way? Sure. Do you want to transform into more aggression and more anger and more open target, so that whatever somebody looks at you in the wrong way, you feel hurt? Into what direction do you want to transform? Well, maybe good to know how you want to transform, because otherwise, what are you going to? Might go in the wrong direction.
To be nice and kindness.
Huh?
To be nice and kindness.
To be nice and kind. So if you have somebody, so from her you don't have to fear anything this weekend. So what's your name?
Lilach.
Huh?
Lilach.
Lilach. So Lilach has a purpose of her life to be nice and kind. Me also. Who else? Wow, not so many. Come on, you're in the wrong place here. This is not a self-defense course here. You want to become, you know, I'll show everybody that they should stop harming me. We're on the wrong place here if you have this kind of attitude. This is I want to become gentle, I want to become kind. But, you know, gentle and kind and compassion can be very rough, by the way, sometimes. So don't go into idiot compassion. But at least you try first with gentleness. Somebody makes a mistake, instead of vomiting all your frustration upon that person, you've been, you know, your eye's been waiting for that person who finally makes a mistake. So I can now have to, there is actually an agreement that one is allowed to do that. Especially in this country. Seems like this. Do you have that written in your constitution? Somebody makes a mistake, you're allowed to shout at them? Is it in your constitution? Is it written down somewhere? It seems to be written down somewhere.
DNA. It's a DNA.
It's DNA, okay? but it seems to be an agreement. But only if you're the one who shouts. This is the other thing. So you see, sometimes sometimes you DNA of the DNA that if mistakes are done, there's shouting. So that DNA works again only that way, but not that way. So it can't be DNA, because DNA only works one way, not two opposite ways. So I thought it was in your constitution, but it's not.
It's conditioning.
Exactly. This is it. And conditioning can be, the same way as it's developed, it can be undone. Yeah? So it happens to be sometimes in this country when somebody gets angry with me, none of the people here, they probably wouldn't dare, except for the totally new ones. But in, out in society, in the shops or in the market or whatever, or when they start attacking me or something, or get angry at me, I usually say, excuse me, one thing, I didn't attack you, and second, I'm not angry. Why are you angry? Somebody at one point cheated me, and I said, you overcharged, and he insulted me. First question was, where are you from? From Germany? Luckily, I'm from Switzerland. So I could then immediately I thought, Switzerland is not good either because we took all the Jews' money. You see, conditioning. I say we took all the Jews' money in the Second World War. I wasn't even alive at that time. But I'm already conditioned because when I come to this country, people make me responsible for that. When people say it to me, I usually say, look, sorry, one thing is I'm not happy with what happened. I think it's really bad and really rotten to take advantage of the misfortune of others. I mean, this is terrible. Second thing is, I was not born at that time. Third thing is, even if I would have been born at that time, to be honest, if I would have benefited from it, I don't know if I would have been so against it as I am now. Because now I'm not benefiting from it. You see, it's good to be really, really honest. When injustice, how do you say? Somebody put in English. Huh? Injustice. When injustice is happening and it's to our favor, we're not so disturbed by it. That's our problem. We have to be disturbed by it even if it is in our favor. Only then things will change. So the shouting at somebody, how do we get to that? So that seems to be we can change that. We can change the conditioning. You feel this coming, and this is where the morning, what we do in the morning, if you do this daily, even 5 minutes, it's better to do it daily, 5 minutes, because then you will increase the time. If you start with 1 hour, you won't succeed to do it alone. But if you do it daily, maybe just 1 minute. Put an app on your telephone, something like that. And don't put an app where it adds up and then other people start to see also who have the same app how much time you meditate, because then you start to cheat. You put on the time even though you don't do it. That's what I did. And I'm like, what are you doing? Are you crazy? So I got rid of it says you get stars, like in kindergarten. Like you do it every day for 5 days in succession, and then I had like 50 days in succession. And I really didn't have time to do the practice because I had to go on the train, something like that. And then I did as if I did, and then I thought, what is this? What are you doing? So this is the whole thing. With awareness, you start to see the games that you're playing with yourself. Just to make myself kind of 51 days in succession, you've done 20-minute silent meditation and all that. It doesn't mean that then that as if I've done it when I haven't done it. If I haven't done it, I haven't done it. I don't need the stars to get the result. And getting the stars will not give me the result. So if you do that as short as you want, or 3 times a day, just coming into the present and looking at the state of your mind, that will really make a big difference in your life, okay? Because then you start to feel the energy that comes up. It's just energy, yeah? It's not anger yet. It becomes anger when the thoughts come in, This can also be joy, that energy, that rush. It can be joy, it can be fear, it can be anger, it can be excitement, it can be anything. But then with our thoughts, which happen very quick, we don't see them, it becomes anger. So, and habit, of course. So then when you go, you know, usually, wow, you pay attention, that's what you want to say, but when you feel the energy go, no. So then your mantra, when somebody makes mistake, then changes into, it's okay, it happens to everybody. Nobody likes to make mistake. I tell you, that person will then work much better than if you shout at them. Because they will be so relieved, because it's not nice having to come and say, I made a mistake. Because you know you're going to be shouted at. You're going to be punished. But the shouting doesn't prevent people from making mistakes. It actually makes them nervous and they make more mistakes. But don't let it there, you know, just, oh, it's okay, don't worry, everybody makes mistakes. Make a step further. What can we do now? What can we learn from that mistake? Yeah? We're always afraid that then people get really careless because we're not getting angry anymore. So again, turn the whole thing around. If somebody, when you make a mistake, somebody reacts like this in your workplace, would you get careless? Would you think, oh good, she's not getting angry, now I can do all the mistakes I want, I don't need to apply myself anymore. Would you act like that? You're not sure? I don't see any reactions there. No. So why do we think others will react like that? Why don't we start by seeing others as us? Maybe they feel like I do. Maybe they also feel bad when they make mistakes. Maybe they're also frightened. Maybe they also don't like if I vomit all my frustration on them now. Yeah? So like this. So then we start to change, behavior. So this I, creating a desire and aversion, these two mind states, they're too tight. Aversion wants to get rid of something and desire wants something. Then they start to squeeze, and what you see through that filter of the squeezing is exaggerated. So when you want to get rid of something, you only see the negative sides. You don't see the positive sides. And you blame. This one person or situation is responsible for my unhappiness now. That's wrong. You are responsible for your unhappiness. That is just the trigger. That's all. The next one, desire, is you start to kind of, you see the positive sides, and then you want it, and then you start to suffer because you don't have it. Yeah? And then the suffering of not having it becomes bigger than the suffering from spending the money. And when the suffering from spending the money has decreased and the suffering from not having the object has increased, then you go and buy it. Why? Because you do analytical meditations with these two mind states. By concentrating on the negative sides with aversion and concentrating on the positive sides with desire. Desire says if you have the object, the person or the situation, you'll be happy for, and then that might be true. You'll be happy, but it doesn't say the truth. It doesn't finish. Because an intelligent mind says you'll be happy for a short while. And that short while is as short as that, usually. It doesn't say, it says, the gut feeling is, you'll be happy ever after. If you get rid of that problem here, or that person or the situation, it says, you'll be happy ever after. It's true, you'll be happy for a short moment. But then another problem comes, and then another, and another. You know, when you look at the situation here with all the balagan, with your, oh, this is on camera, maybe I shouldn't say. You know, your government. Maybe I'm not allowed to come back if somebody sees it. Huh?
We have democracy here.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that if the democracy is really where. Maybe I get put on the blacklist. Anyway, so it's like the people are just not very skillful, I think, that are there. Because why? Because self-cherishing. They are supposed, they're given a job to look, to have an open mind, to work for the benefit of all their citizens. And what do? Maybe only working for